Our guest today is, you know her, you love her, you rooted for her, you voted for her for America's favorite house guest, and she won the season she played Big Brother. Taylor Hale. Hi, Taylor.
Hey Julie, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Okay, we're going to get into all things of this season of Big Brother, but first, it is called God 101. In the past, I've asked you about your relationship with our great creator, and you said you believe in a higher power. I'm going to ask you the question again because it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with God?
It's still the same. I haven't wavered in my positioning. I think like there's some sort of higher power, and I think there's I go back and forth on do I actually think there's a higher power, or when we go, is it just kaput? So I go back and forth between like agnosticism and atheism, but I think just having some sort of entity to connect to when you're feeling low or you need some sort of spiritual connection is good for all of us, no matter what it is. So, I go back and forth on what do I believe? Do I believe anything at all? But at the end of the day, I just believe in everybody having something that makes them feel good and helps guide them to just be a good person because we need some good people in the world.
Amen to that. You did pray with me before we started this interview,
I
so do you pray?
I don't pray. The closest I probably get to connecting with any higher spirit is like reading my horoscope. I think like there's some sort of entity there. You're not into your horoscope, Julie?
I used to before I knew the Lord, but that's another story. But then I want to say thank you for praying with me.
Yeah. Well, I always think that it's good to speak to anybody in the language that most resonates with them. So I may not be Christian, I may not be religious, but if somebody needs Christian prayer to help them through whatever they're going through, that doesn't hurt me to participate in that. If there's a Jewish prayer that helps Jewish people or Arab and Muslim people, I will happily participate in something as long as we're spreading positivity and kindness in the way that people receive it most.
All right, can we talk about the season of Big Brother?
I got to hear your thoughts. What is going on?
Truly expect the unexpected. First, your thoughts on Rachel Riley's exit from the White Locust Resort.
Well, y'all set me up on Big Brother Unlocked. I walked into the backyard, excited to meet Tyler for the first time. I was standing next to Lance Bass, standing next to Derek, and then I got word that you all were bringing the hamster wheel of death back into the competition. I almost got the same chills that I had doing reindeer games, and I didn't even actually go into the wheel. Let me tell you, if you were watching this interview, that hamster wheel competition is the most stressful and anxiety inducing Big Brother competition in the history of Big Brother. I say that as a matter of fact because you have no control and it's not been around long enough to understand how to game it. So watching those house guests go through the pain and terror that I know, it was so horrifying to watch. Fantastic entertainment, but just not the way you want to see someone like Rachel go out or anybody playing Big Brother. Because I think everybody knows at the core of Big Brother, it is a social game. I am the CEO of cheering and promoting the social game. So it was really hard watching everybody have two opportunities on the block between the veto competition and the blockbuster to save themselves and not see Rachel get that. So I think it's a good competition, but maybe not for Big Brother proper in this way.
There is a social aspect to that twist. What do you think
Mm-hmm.
of the way Rachel approached it when Ava had to make the choice and had a 10-minute window?
I think you have to know your audience, but also it's Big Brother. So if somebody's fighting for their lives and they're yanking on me into another room to argue with me, hold up. It actually happened. Michael was fighting for his life in the double eviction on my season, grabbed me and Alyssa by the little pinky fingers and yanked us around the house into another room. And you know what, Alyssa and I said? Whatever, because it's Big Brother and we understand people are fighting for their lives in the game. I need Ava to get a little bit thicker skin when someone's fighting. Like if you have power and you have to make a decision, you can't be mad when someone's being a little more pushy when they need you to impact them.
Well, we did see her react when Keanu said, I believe you have a prompt. So
Okay,
we see
that
shades
was so
of
fun.
the darker side of Ava.
Well, yeah, but that was quote of the season right there. I need a sweatshirt that says I believe you have a prompt.
It's going to be with the expect the unexpected, the quotes, the famous quotes.
Exactly.
Okay. At this point, who do you think who do you think should win? Who do you think will win?
I think the win is going to be any combination between Morgan, Vince, and Keanu. One of those three, they're going to pull it out. I am curious. Here's what I think really needs to happen is Morgan needs to separate her game from Vince's game. And if they sit final two, she needs to completely eviscerate him in a final two seat because he has a really strong argument on how he had all his final twos and made game decisions that best benefited him most of the time compared to the other players. Keanu has had such an underdog story. I think it'll be really hard for anybody to vote against him if he's sitting final two. But I do want to see Morgan have more agency in her game. And I think she's getting to a point where she's being too connected to Vince. So I want to see some shuffling there. I need to see some intentionality. But I don't really think the rest of the house guests have a solid shot unless they take all three of them out. Then we'll have an interesting winner for sure.
Wouldn't it be something if the two women, Morgan and Lauren, turned on Vince and then took each other to final two?
Julie, you know that's the move of my dreams. I want to see the women betray men season after season after season. I wanted to see an all-women jury phase, but one day, not this day.
The women have dominated this season. For a while there, it was like each week was a man getting evicted.
I know. I just wanted them to look around and be like, wait a second, don't say it out loud. But we're getting rid of him, right? And then we're gonna get rid of okay. Don't say it out loud, just do it. But a girl can dream.
Okay, so if it is truly down to if it's down to those three, Keanu, Morgan, and Lauren. Oh no, did you say
Morgan?
Is that what you said, or did you
Morgan, not Lauren?
Oh, okay. You say it's Keanu's to lose.
I think it might be. I would have to see Vince or Morgan have a really strong speech in the end that ties up the moves that they made in a way that's convincing enough. I don't really think that they're curating those connections at this point that makes it stronger over Keanu.
What do you think of Vince's gameplay?
I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I personally don't really enjoy it. It's very weaselly. It's very I can't even call it snake-like because at least a snake has a bite. Vince will make a move, but he'll be so soft in his move, and then he'll run away, and then he'll whine and whimper and try to get out of something. I don't enjoy watching it, but it has been effective. And so I have to give credit where credit's due, even though I don't want to give him credit for it, it's working. Gameplay doesn't have to be my favorite for it to work.
And the house guests seem to like him.
I know.
He
seems
kind of harmless in the house to the others, right?
He's getting close to someone, that's for sure.
Okay, what do you make of his very close relationship with Morgan?
Here's the thing. You can get really close with people in the Big Brother house. Like we've seen that season after season, and it's cold in that house. There's every reason to get in the same bed and throw the covers on. I understand that. What I don't like is moving in a way that is clearly disrespectful or potentially crossing the boundaries or inconsiderate of people that you care about outside of the house. I wish that Vince would do what he's doing and then look to the camera and talk to people on the live feeds at home and say, this is what I'm doing intentionally. Love you all at home. I would never move to hurt you intentionally. It's the same thing with his game. There's no ownership. And that's my issue with Vince and everything he's doing.
Part of my cough. I think this diffuser room is acting up.
A little strong scent over there.
Yes, it's a strong scent. Expect the unexpected cough. Okay, you and Joseph still close friends after trying to be in a relationship together?
I love, in your heart, you are always a jailer. You will never let go of jailer, Julie. Yes, Joseph is my ride or die. That is one of my closest friends. But we are doing the Big Brother Amazing Race theme season. So if you want to see if there's any conflict, you might have to
you are doing it with Kyland, who,
yes, I am.
Even though you weren't in the same season, started dating after getting to know each other in the Big Brother universe.
Yeah.
How is that going?
I never expected to be asked this by you, Julie. This is the least prepared I've ever been for a question. We are not dating currently. But when we did, it's okay. It's okay. For some reason, I do really well with my exes. Like I maintain close relationships because I date good people. But if you want to see how it all goes, it's all in The Amazing Race. I will say this is the first time we're really being public about it, just because my last relationship with Joseph was so public. And I was very intentional about being quiet. But when you get the chance to race around the world with someone you love for $1 million in less than a month, you take it.
Taylor Hale, always a pleasure talking with you. Expect the unexpected with that question. And
you always got something special for me, Julie, but I always hit it right back. You know that.
I love love, and I love that this show really brings people together. So I'm always rooting for love.
I get it. Me too.
Thank you, Taylor.
Love you, Julie.